We're just ordinary people living ordinary lives until we see someone on TV win a $25,000 prize. Come on down. I'll play any game for 10 seconds of fame. Come on down. I'll make a deal, just let me spin the wheel. Come on down. To win $1 million, all you need is a little luck and thorough knowledge of multiple disparate trivial subjects.
All right, welcome back to an all-new episode of Come On Down, the game show podcast, celebrating Pride Month all month long.
Congratulations, fellow Pridians.
I'm John Baker.
I'm Jonathan Montney.
And today we're going to talk about a game show.
Funny enough, we're talking about a game show. You know what? I've been kind of thinking about things.
Okay.
Kind of been mulling it over.
Yeah.
You know, I'm 35 now.
Yeah. Well, you will be.
I'm almost 35.
We had a surprise party for your 35th birthday yesterday.
Wasn't a huge surprise for me.
What do you mean?
Oh, the second John sent out these surprise invitations.
Right. The ones that said this is a surprise party.
Right, correct. Right. The friend, quotes, friend, called me and told me...
This is our friend Fran.
This is our friend Fran.
Okay.
Fran said, "Hey, dude, why are you ruining my Father's Day?" To which I replied, "What are you talking about?" He continued, "All I want to do is hang out, do nothing, and drink beer, and now I got to come to your thing."
Uh-huh.
To which then led to me saying, "What thing?" and getting angrier, kind of realizing he's probably ruining something. And then he finally said, "Oh, wait. Oh, dude, is this supposed to be a surprise party?" As if he was still angry that I didn't know about the surprise.
Why didn't you, though?
Well, because it was a surprise.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, it's supposed to be a surprise.
Right. And then it wasn't.
It wasn't. Dude, back to what's really important.
Back to now that you're a 35-year-old man with feelings.
I don't think
perspective.
That we can do jokey jokes stuff anymore. I think we need to talk about what's really happening in the world. Politics.
Okay.
You know, child abductions.
That's happening a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Just trafficking.
Why is it so easy to abduct a child? If we could, honestly, it's got to be, we got to teach these kids how to evade abduction.
So is that what the podcast should be about?
Yeah. It should be called Finding Forrester, parentheses, a child.
That's a bit of a...
Or we'll say
confusing.
We'll say finding, and then we'll do underscore as if it's a blank.
Uh-huh.
And then we'll do a show about, we'll actually track down these kids that are missing, and we'll document our process.
All right. I like finding people.
That's what it should be called. I like finding people.
And the first episode is a kid named Forrester that's gone missing.
Right.
It's kind of like how Disney Plus has High School Musical, the show.
I wasn't aware there was that many layers.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I guess, you know High School Musical? It was a Disney movie.
Right.
And then they made a musical, like a stage musical.
Mm-hmm.
That was called like High School Musical, the musical.
Okay.
And so then on Disney Plus, they wanted to make a TV show.
Mm.
And what the TV show is about school children that are in theater,
mm-hmm.
and their school is putting on High School Musical, the musical.
Okay.
So the show is High School Musical, the show.
Okay.
That's the podcast, basically, but with abducted children.
Okay.
But so real quickly, because this has been on my mind recently with this Fran
beautiful. Yeah.
party situation.
Please.
So it just took me back to a text message conversation that I had with our friend Francisco. Back in February, it turns out, because I just quickly Googled this up in my text history.
Oh, you weren't writing down the show idea about abducting kids?
Oh, that's all up here.
Okay.
That's all up here.
Okay.
I just quickly searched up my text history with Fran so I could find this rather confusing conversation that I had with him on February 6th, it appears. He was texting me some would you rather situations.
Okay, those can be fun.
Right. And I don't remember how it started. I'd have to scroll up too far now. But he was texting me some would you rathers. And then it got to this question from him. He said, would you rather give up orgasms for life or eat whatever you want without gaining weight? And I replied, one of those is good and one is bad. So the good one.
Well, maybe Fran has painful orgasms. Maybe orgasms are bad for Fran.
And I said, the good one. And he said, you know what I mean. And I said, no, I don't. And then he replied, to clarify for me, no orgasms or no weight gain ever. I said, okay, still one is good and one is bad. Did you forget English? And he said, I don't understand why you're confused. And then he changed the question to, would you rather give up orgasms or give up food? Which still didn't help. Because it was the question, could I never eat again? Do I die of starvation?
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's an idiot. So it's not surprising.
Well, that's the epitome
that he ruined your party.
Of Fran right there. That's a great, I mean, the story is good, but...
Because he doesn't back down.
Well, that, but also he's getting mad at you.
Because he's wrong.
Because he's wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
That'll happen.
Hey, Fran, get your shit together. I can't wait for Claudia to set up a surprise party for you. I'm going to fucking tell you so fast, dude.
Hell yeah.
I'm going to tell you so fast.
Sorpresa.
Sorpresa.
That's Spanish for...
It is surprise?
Surprise, yeah.
Okay.
Or
Claro KC.
So today we're doing a game show that comes from Britain, which we've done a few game shows that have come from there.
Yeah.
This is another one. And by comes
Surprise.
from, I mean it's also stayed there. It's just stayed over there.
Okay.
In Britain.
Right.
And it's called Would I Lie to You?
Right. Would I lie to you? Because we also have an ad to do.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to do the ad then.
Okay. I didn't know if we were moving on because we had a pretty nice, healthy intro there. Which
we had some good stuff. I mean, sorry, advertising will come at you whenever it's ready to. So put on a helmet, kids. Whatever.
Because life is bumpy.
Like I got a bike. I got a helmet the other day.
Yeah, you got a cruiser bike, which is usually for people that are like disabled will get cruiser bikes because it hurts their butt.
This does kind of hurt my butt.
You didn't get a comfy seat?
It is like the big wide seat or whatever, but it's still like...
Dude, what's wrong with your butt?
It's a little bony. I've got a bony butt. It still digs in there a little bit. It's not bad, but...
Yeah.
All right, our sponsor today. Oh, hey, that's the first 3 words.
Holy shit, dude.
Our sponsor today is a very helpful service that can help you in your everyday life.
Lying can be a very fun thing to do, but it's not so fun when someone lies to you.
Well, that's a nice rhyme.
I didn't realize that.
For only $39.99 a month, the LLHOF service will help you detect liars.
And it's so simple to use. If you ever suspect that someone is deceiving you, just open their intuitive app and request a screening.
The professional lie screeners will show up and use their 100% effective tools to get to the truth.
Hey, John, what are some of those tools?
Reading their own mother's Facebook posts using a sexual porn-like voice, nipple pinching, hair pulling, hair burning, light stabbing, heavy stabbing, aggressive private part tickling. This isn't in there, but I'm going to throw out passive private part tickling. Viewing A Quiet Place in a theater with a loudmouth breather on one side and an open-mouthed chewer on the other. Lighting candles that smell like SBD dog farts. Silent but deadly. And belly button licking using a cat's tongue.
The Liar Liar Hair on Fire staff are A+ BBB certified.
That's the first time that the name of the Liar Liar Hair on Fire, it was just abbreviated previously.
Right. Well, because usually, you know.
Was this a reveal?
Well, what exactly?
Okay.
Right.
What a comedic tool.
Thank you. A+ BBB approved and have been trained by the CIA.
Wow. When you need to find the truth, find the LLHOF website and we'll do the rest.
Is this legal?
Let's start the show. I like the cat belly button licking. It's kind of sexual.
but also kind of painful.
The cats have sharp tongues or something?
Yeah, dude, that's how they groom themselves. They're like, it's like sandpaper.
It's like a comb built into a tongue.
Thank you for the... If anybody has ASMR stuff, they're going to love that part.
Listen to this while you go to sleep, bitches. I felt like more like a lizard than a cat doing that.
Yeah, I would say I've never heard a wet licking from a cat.
Because they've got that dry comb tongue. So today, as we mentioned, we're going to do Would I Lie to You? I also learned, we talked about being the most queer-friendly podcast on probably all of the internet last week.
I would say all of the internet, yeah.
And we talked about rainbow logos.
Mm-hmm.
Like Zillow, for example. They've got a rainbow app logo right now, which is just confusing me and making it hard for me to find my Zillow app because I'm used to it being blue.
Oh, wow.
And that's kind of annoying, but if it helps, then I'm all about it. When these giant corporations that exploit labor and use their power and money to control government and policy. But when they put a rainbow flag on their icon, I know that they're for the people. They're supporting us. And I've learned from my wife, who's the biggest critic of this podcast, that is called rainbow washing.
Which is strange because she doesn't listen either.
It's very weird.
She just is angry, I think, that you leave for an hour every single weekend.
She wishes it was longer. It's called rainbow washing when companies do this. And there's some controversy about what are you actually doing to help other than pretending to help for 1/12 of the year. And actually, there's only 30 days in this month, so it's like the black people get a 28-day month and the gay people get a 30. Who gets the 31-day months? Us.
I mean, time. Just time in general.
Father time?
Yeah. Which is
a man. Of course. Misogynistic male.
Here's
patriarchy. That's the word I'm thinking of.
Here's the thing. Yeah, it's a kind of a shitty thing if you boil it down, but it spawns from the place where this became normal. It's the internet. This wasn't really a thing before the internet.
Well, because there are the people that are like, why don't you have a rainbow logo? Do you not care about gay people?
Right. And I should be like,
Chase
no.
Bank has a rainbow logo. Sure, they don't give my gay friends home loans that they want. They, redlining, pink lining, rainbow lining.
Rainbow line, yeah. You can't just do one.
Rainbow lining.
It's not one
There's
color
a lot
line.
of colors, yeah. So, people, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't.
Right.
Which is why we do.
And you know what? This isn't a thing in Britain because there are no gay people in Europe.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Are you lying to me right now?
No. Iran is the same thing.
Oh, okay. Iran is just like Britain in that way?
Yeah.
I think we say Iran now.
We do. So, Iran to the bank? I don't think so, dude.
To get that home loan for my gay friends. Because they can't get it.
Dude, if a hardcore Iranian heard that joke, they would not like it at all. So
Would I Lie to You is a show in Britain. And guess what? We've been lying to you. They have gay people there.
I did. That was a lie.
Elton John. Hello. The most famous.
Elton John. Hello.
The most famous gay person there is. Who's more famous gay than Elton John?
Who's more famous gay than Elton John?
I meant to say who's more famous gay. Who's more famously gay than Elton John?
Famously gay. I don't know. Harvey Milk. MLK.
MLK. I don't think that's right.
Okay.
I think he had a wife and everything. So this episode's dedicated to the memory of Elton John.
I don't know, the candle from Beauty and the Beast?
The candle from Candle in a Wind by Elton John.
No, Beauty and the Beast.
Oh. That was
no, he was French. Oh. Never mind.
Well.
I mean.
So Would I Lie to You? It's a current show. It's a recent-ish show that is still going. It's a panel show. We've talked about panel shows before.
We have.
They're big in Britain.
Have we done an actual panel show yet? A British panel show?
Not really.
I don't think we have.
Not really. So this kind of has elements of.
Hey, go ahead and tag us at Come On Down Show on Instagram. Let us know if we've done a panel show before.
Yeah, we don't remember. We do every single episode under heavily induced drug binges.
Yeah.
So who knows what we've done. It premiered in 2007 on BBC One, which is like, I don't know, the main TV channel over there. It's very confusing the way their TV works because it's all like run by the government and you have to pay the government to like buy a TV.
Wow.
There's a TV license fee that you have to pay. And if you don't own a TV, you don't have to pay it. But if you own a TV, you've got to pay like a fee to the government every year or month or something like that.
Wow.
So, I mean, I guess that's what it's like when you're a communist country.
People would not go for that here.
No. If you try to tax me on my fucking Big Mac, I'll kill you.
I mean, there is
what?
Tax on your...
What do you mean?
You pay tax in the total amount of anything that you buy.
All right. Well, I guess I know what I'm doing after this.
What is that?
Throwing a Big Mac into the Boston Harbor.
You're going to buy a Big Mac, pay the tax once again, and then throw it into the Boston Harbor. You're going to ruin food. You're going to waste food. Well, no, I guess it'll be eaten by fish and plankton.
See?
So you're just feeding the fish.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot that you thought that Patrick Henry and those guys up there.
Mm-hmm. I don't watch soccer.
In the 1770s were wasting all that tea.
No, they're just brewing the largest cup of tea.
The ocean right now is actually Guinness Book of World Records for the biggest glass of tea in the world.
And also, they subsequently won an award for that situation as the biggest passive-aggressive attack.
Well, that's why the UK is kind of leading the charge in global warming. They kind of started all of the global warming. It's basically their way of putting the world's largest kettle on. What do you think about that?
Don't do your eyebrows after that.
What do you think about that?
Don't ever do that again. Wow. Don't stop it. I don't want to.
That's what they say. Put the kettle on. That's how they make the tea.
Yeah.
When it's tea time.
Uh-huh.
So
no, you should do the eyebrows. It's not as funny unless you do the eyebrows.
Thank you. So in 2007, this television show premiered on the BBC One. It was hosted by a fella named Angus Deaton, which is like the most British name. It's like a fake British name that you would, I think, come up with.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that commercial for a whiskey or a scotch that says, "Are you thirsty, Angus?" Do you remember that one? And then they it's Jameson. And then they dive into the ocean after the barrels of Jameson that have gone overboard or some shit like that.
Okay, another ocean throwing situation.
There's a lot of ocean throwing stuff. The Big Mac will have company. The one Big Mac that I buy and throw into the Boston Harbor.
You know what I've basically figured out is if you go into the ocean, you're going to have a full meal in there somewhere.
You're going to have a full meal. You're going to have a full set of like jewelry. You're going to have...
from the Titanic?
Yes, just from the Titanic. It's the only jewelry that's ever been thrown in the ocean. You're going to have skeletons if you need any skeleton bones for anything. Of like, Lacey Peterson or something like that.
Okay.
Just murdered people.
I'd like to read you this thing that I just found out.
Oh, what'd you just find out?
The latest American campaign for Dewar whiskeys has come under fire because English-Italian actress Claire Forlani's bad attempt at a Scottish accent.
Ooh.
That's the ad you're saying.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
The Are You Thirsty, Angus?
Mm-hmm.
So Claire Forlani, star of She's All That. She was the one who was all that, right?
She's All That.
Remember that movie with Freddie Prinze Jr.?
Oh, yeah.
And where he made a bet.
I was thinking Joanna Man.
He made a bet to take the nerdy girl to prom and make her prom queen.
Yeah, because she's an ugly bitch.
But she was ugly because she had a ponytail and glasses.
Uh-huh.
And then she finds out about the bet, and he says, I made that bet before I knew you, before I really knew me.
Which, so what he's saying is, I was a real shitty person. Do you want to go out with someone like that? Because that's how he is as a person. I don't understand how that was.
I'm wrong about this, by the way. That's Rachel Lee Cook.
God damn it, dude.
Claire Forlani
Your
was in...
wife right now is freaking out
know.
listening to this.
Claire Forlani was in Boys and Girls with Freddie Prinze Jr.
Okay, so you're just like not smart. You
I get my 1999 Freddie Prinze Jr. rom-coms mixed up.
You should be sorry. Those are two completely different movies. Freddie Prinze Jr. was a very, 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 very good, distinguished actor.
She was also in Mallrats. She was the main chick in Mallrats, that Kevin Smith flick from...
We've got to get back to the show.
96. What show?
Would I lie to you?
Oh, I don't know, would you? So Angus Deaton, who was thirsty, was the host of the show originally. And it's 2 teams of 3. Each one has a captain, and those captains have been the same forever.
Yeah.
So Lee Mack, who's a comedian... He was actually on the most recent season of Taskmaster.
Oh, great show.
Which is a great show that we've talked about before.
That's not technically panel, right?
Yeah, not really.
It's 2 hosts and 3 contestants.
Yeah. So he's a comedian. I don't really know much of his work, to be honest with you. I know more of the work of some of the people who are the guests on the show than the main recurring characters.
Mm-hmm.
But David Mitchell is the other team captain. And I've actually heard of Mitchell and Webb, which is a comedy duo that he is
very funny
part of. I'm not super familiar with their work, but he's done a shit ton of stuff. He's in a ton of TV shows, a ton of panel shows, like everything. Mitchell and Webb were actually, you remember the Justin Long and what's the guy's name? The I'm a Mac and I'm a PC.
Oh yeah, John something.
Yeah. So in the UK,
Johnny. Yeah.
Mitchell and Webb were the Mac and PC for their versions of those commercials.
Okay.
But David Mitchell is, as I said, one of the team captains. Lee Mack is the other. And then each of them have 2 celebrity guests per episode on their respective teams. So Angus Deaton hosted the show for the first year, or the first 2 seasons, I believe. And then there was controversy has kind of followed him a little bit throughout his career from what I've been able to uncover. He's kind of had, sort of like, I don't know, maybe like rehab stints or been fired from some shows or things like that in the past. But allegedly, and there's never been any like public statement about this, but he left this show involuntarily. There's some speculation. There was... So in 2009, in the second series of this show, as they say over there, there's a... Are you familiar with Jimmy Savile?
No.
So he was a British media star of television and whatnot.
Okay.
And he was incredibly famous. He was a big... Throughout like the 70s, 80s, 90s, 10s, etc. Maybe not the zeros, but
just
probably.
The 10s.
Yeah. Kind of skipped that one. So he was a big star over there. He was very well known for his charitable functions and drives and things like that. Over his career, he raised over £40 million for...
Of what?
Charity. Haha. If you would have done an eyebrow thing, I might have respected that joke. But he raised more than £40 million. He was he was an actor in TV shows. He was on panel shows, guests on things like that. He was into, I think, like cycling or marathoning at one point. Or something.
Idiot.
Yeah.
You think he had a comfortable bike seat?
Doubt it. Maybe he had a bony butt. And all this stuff. He was kind of one of the most beloved people in the UK. Angus Deaton made some... Your dog is barking right now.
Yep.
Made some joke on Would I Lie to You about Jimmy Savile, who was like 80-something at the time. Pretty insulting joke about him and his mom's rotting corpse.
Ooh.
And the BBC was upset about this. And they gave him a public censure because, again, the government runs the TV there. And so because of his distasteful joke about Jimmy Savile and his mother, he got a nice public public spanking.
Okay.
They put him in one of those what's this thing called?
Garrett Guard.
No,
barracks.
Not a barrack. No, you lock your head and your arms in there.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And then you get spankings.
Okay.
That's what they did. And so
Gulag.
Nope. So shortly after that, he was relieved of his duties on the show. Also shortly after that, Jimmy Savile died. And shortly after that...
Pillory.
No, that's not the word I'm thinking
The
of.
pillory is a device made of a wooden or metal framework erected on a post. No, wait, that doesn't sound like it.
Okay.
The picture that pulled up is that thing.
Okay. Both of our listeners are screaming the answer at their podcast right now.
I think it might be pillory, dude.
Okay. So a couple years later, 2011, Jimmy Savile died of, being old. And then 2012, a big news story came out that Jimmy Savile was raping everyone out there.
Oh my God.
And there were a decent amount of people like in and around show business that like a little bit of a Weinstein type
I was gonna say
situation,
that sounds exactly like that,
but worse.
But wait, it's worse.
It's worse. And like there were people that knew about this, and it was kind of
stocks, a wooden stock.
Yeah, the stocks. Yeah, and so it was really like covered up, and anytime anybody tried to speak out about it, it was like edited out of the BBC and all this stuff when he was alive. And then, proper investigations were done after he died, and they kind of uncovered that some minor things like he had more than 300 alleged victims between the ages of 5 and 20 or 5 and 75. And like he would go to the hospitals to do, his community service and like just like molest people in the hospitals. And for decades.
Honestly, it's the cleanest place to do that.
I guess that's true. So maybe in hindsight, Angus Deaton, his comments were maybe a little less distasteful than all the raping that Jimmy Savile was doing.
Yeah,
I would say that was a little more. I don't want to controversial.
Yeah,
raping a bunch of children and getting away with it because of these big corporate and media enablers that want to continue selling this good image that they've manufactured for you.
And I think that's a lesson in itself. If you want to do, as my co-host is saying, all the raping, just get famous first. Get some big companies in your court, in your corner. It definitely
helps.
And and you know what's better too? Do the most wholesome thing to get famous. That way you've got that image as well as the money and the support and the backing of huge corporations as well.
Do you know that Shonda Rhimes show, How to Get Away with Murder?
No.
It was on ABC.
Okay.
I think...
Is it like the book that helped you create a bomb, the Anarchist Cookbook?
No, but I was just thinking, I think that you should pitch a show called How to Get Away with Rape, because it seems like you've got a lot of ideas.
It would just be one episode. I think I've pretty much shot my wad on that one.
I mean, you've told me a lot of stuff off air. So that's some ideas that you've had.
I feel free to air it now. What's another thing that I told you on how to get away with rape?
I'll talk about it after you're dead. So Angus Deaton in 2009 was unceremoniously booted off the show and replaced with Rob Brydon, who is the host to this day. There have been 14 series, including the, I think, currently airing, or at least most recent one. And
this has got to be the longest running British show, right? 14 series?
Doctor Who. That's been going on since Jimmy Savile's first rape victim, basically.
If I want to watch a show about an owl, I'll watch Harry Potter.
All right. Moving on.
Wait, look.
Oh, hi, hey.
Oldest crutch in the game. Eyebrow lifts.
Eyebrow. How many cat licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Pop? So, the show's setup is we introduce the two guest stars on each team. They'll frequently be comedians, actors, presenters. That's a big term that they use over there that we don't use very much. Like Ryan Seacrest would be a presenter. He's a TV presenter.
Okay.
And so those sorts of people will be the guests on the show. Some of them are recurring. Some of them have been there like 10 different episodes or things like that. I think there have been 135 episodes so far, at least according to Wikipedia. And the two teams basically are each telling lies or maybe truths.
Yeah.
And the other team has to kind of interrogate them and then decide whether they are telling the truth or that is a lie. And you get a point for being correct. And that's the show.
End. Period.
That's it. There are different rounds. The first round is called Home Truths. And that is the one person on each team has a card in front of them. They have to pick it up and read it. It's the first time that they have read this card. And it's either something that is an actual like story from their real life, or it is a made-up thing that the producers of the show have concocted that they've never seen before and have no idea of, and they have to read what's on the card out loud, and then they're interrogated. And obviously, if they're telling the truth, they provide more backstory around whatever the thing is, and if they're lying, they kind of have to improvise a whole bunch of bullshit to make it seem like this is a true story that they're telling the truth about. And again, after a few minutes of questioning, the other team has to guess whether it's a truth or a lie. The second round is called This Is My ... This is my ellipses, if you will. And in which they bring an outside person onto the show for one of the teams. And each of the team members, they introduce the guy, they say, this is Todd. And they go to each of the team members and they say, Mark, who is Todd? And then he says, Todd is a guy who I caught breaking into my house, and we got to talking, and we actually kind of generated a friendship after that.
We got to talking.
Or Mary, who is Todd? And then Mary says, oh,
he's the guy that broke into his house. And
Todd was an ex-boyfriend of mine who stood up and objected at my wedding to my husband. And so they all have kind of an elaborate story about who this person is. And the other team has to interrogate all of them to figure out which of these people is telling the truth and who Todd actually is.
Who is Todd? And they go, Todd, who are you? And he goes, I don't know, man.
I've been trying to figure that out. I've been doing a lot of soul searching.
I'll
recently.
let you know when I find out. Well, we have a show to do, so we kind of sort of need an answer right now. Oh yeah, I broke into that dude's house.
We're good friends now.
We're great.
So that's the way the second round works, and then the third round is called Quick Fire Lies, in which there's supposed to be kind of more of a time limit on the Q&A and giving an answer. But I think after like the third or fourth season, they kind of dispensed with that aspect of it, and it's basically the same thing as the first round at this point. So we just got a sandwich with the middle of the "This is my ...
Love sandwiches.
What's your favorite type of sandwich?
I'm gonna go with a thick, juicy turkey breast. Maybe kind of like a barbecue turkey breast sandwich. I think turkey is one of the most underrated meats at barbecue place.
Wow.
If they have a good turkey slice.
Right. Where do you get a good barbecue turkey?
Terry Black's. The place that I vowed to never go to because they shut down DCH.
Okay.
If I were to go there, I bet they have a good sandwich.
All right.
Is that a good backtrack? Like you clearly tell the truth and then you...
You should be on Would I Lie to You. I think you'd be great. Do you ever... Like, I know I think when we did To Tell the Truth, we talked about how I embellished some stuff about my skin cancer to deceive, mislead.
Mislead is a good word.
A professor to not kick me out of his class.
Right. To not face the consequences of your actions.
Right. What's your best lie?
I don't have one.
No.
I'm very bad at lying. And I lied a lot when I was younger.
Would you get caught?
Oh, all the time.
Yeah. What's a good story about you getting caught, you being bad at lying? Do you have any of those?
Oh, God. Oh,
Did you prepare for this?
So embarrassing. Okay, so there was a new kid. His name was Brett. And he moved in down the street, down that Mission Ridge Road that I used to live on.
Uh-huh.
And so we became friends. And we went to our Camp Clausen, our 5th grade class school trip.
Oh, yeah, I did that. I remember that.
And
it was like a week. We went up into the woods to a camp for kids, basically, for a week with all of your schoolmates. And you stayed in cabins and you kind of did things like dissect owl pellets and learn things about nature.
Archery. We'd go in a canoe.
Right. So it was kind of an educational camp week.
Yeah. And on one of I believe it was the bus ride to the final hike. We always did kind of like a hike. It was like a decent incline. I told him that I was like a ghost.
What?
Yeah. I told him that.
So you were like 12 years old at the 11 years old?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I told him that God in the sky would send like souls down to humans.
Okay.
And there was a situation where my soul was blocked.
You missed.
Uh-huh. And so I was just kind of a vehicle that had no passenger or driver.
Okay.
And then he told everybody
that you said you were a ghost.
Uh-huh. And, well, I didn't say ghost. I don't remember what I probably had some made up fucking term about it. But I told him that my soul was blocked by like Kareem Abdul.
Okay, I know you were like 11 at the time.
Sure.
Do you remember why you might have come up with
that?
That
was the thing. I had a problem. I just lied.
You just lied a lot.
To like, it was probably for attention. It was before I probably was good at being humorous.
Okay.
To steal the attention from jokes, I just lied because I wanted, to have a fantastical story. I was probably bored with my life too. And so, but yeah, he told everybody, and so they all made fun of me. Rightfully so.
Did you come clean at any point?
Probably not. They probably just Why would I need to come clean? What a stupid lie. That's not something where...
That's true, but like kids, even adults, I guess, or some adults to a certain extent, are just so gullible and stupid. Like it sounds like you had like a minor bout of pathological lying going on at the time.
It's pretty major.
But it feels like you got over that as you reached pubis and...
Don't ever call it
that. Puberty.
What's the e
puberis unum? So, but like we had another friend, and I don't want to say their name, in high school. That
we'll call him Jekyll.
That's where you knew exactly what story I was going to. That he didn't start going to school with us until junior year of high school. He went to a private school before that, and so he was kind of meeting everybody fresh at this point.
Yeah,
and so it was like, oh, where are you from? Whatever, and he's like, oh, I've lived here for a while, but I went to private school. And he's like, oh, why don't you go to private school anymore? And what he told us was that he was expelled from his private school because he was in the principal's office for something. And I mean, this was so long ago, I wish I could remember more of the details of this story. But the principal had somehow insulted him or his family in some way, and so he broke the principal's arm. He got in a physical altercation with the principal in his office and broke the principal's arm. And was subsequently expelled from the school for that. And I mean,
and didn't go to juvie.
No, he was
just
not,
went to a public school.
He was not like arrested for assault or anything like that. He just wasn't allowed to go to his private school anymore. And then so we found some people, I think, that went to that private school that were like, that's not true. That guy's a little bitch. And so it was just a weird thing to lie about for no reason whatsoever, because instead of like making you sound cool, it kind of just makes you sound like a sociopath.
Yeah.
A little bit. I mean, and when you find out it's a lie, it makes you sound more like a sociopath.
Right.
I guess. But it was like, oh, well, that's fucking weird that you did that. Nice to meet you. When I was young, like, when you, like, every kid lies because they don't.
I didn't.
No, you just said that you were a pathological liar.
Was.
Whoa, a pathological liar. Shit. So it's like when you're a kid, you don't want to get in trouble, and you lie to your parents and stuff like that.
Sure.
And I think I told this on here before potentially, but I was convinced by my mother that my tongue would turn black and fall out if I lied.
Why does it turn black first?
I don't know. I don't know. But my tongue would turn black and fall out. It would shrivel up, like, I think, like, dry out, like, you know, shrivel up. Like yeah, like a grape, and fall out. And then I wouldn't have a tongue anymore to be able to speak because I lied, and I don't deserve to speak because I'm a liar. And then one time I got in trouble for something or another and denied it. And my mom was like, if you're lying to me, your tongue is going to turn black and fall out. And I was like, I'm not lying. But I got really nervous. And I like tensed up a lot, and like my mouth started drying out because I was so nervous, and like my throat started hurting, and I was like, it's happening. And I was like, Mom, I was lying. I don't want my tongue to fall out. She got me good.
Oh, man.
She got me good.
It just goes to show you how stupid you are as a kid, because have you ever seen anybody else in the world that didn't have a tongue?
Everybody else tells the truth, except for me.
Yeah.
That's why I'm going to hell. No, and like, but your parents lie to you all the time when you're a kid. There's nonstop lying.
It's kind of crazy that our lives start like that, and then you become an adult and you lie, and they're like, "Hey, that's not cool." It's like but I was lied to.
I learned this from you, Dad.
Yeah,
that was when I grew up in New York, and there was
concrete jungle,
the concrete
where
jungle
dreams are made
of, which doesn't make sense, by the way. Have you ever thought of that? Concrete jungle where dreams are made of. Is it the concrete jungle that dreams are made of? Or is it the concrete jungle where dreams are made? Each of those makes sense. But it doesn't make sense combined like that.
You have two options, and yet you chose the wrong third one.
Exactly. You made up a third option. So I lived in New York, and I was like 8 years old, and my parents went on vacation to Dallas like twice within a few months or something like that.
Interesting.
And first of all, my parents, I didn't ever really remember them going on vacation alone before that. But they wanted a vacation to Dallas without us. And for some reason, when they got back, I was like, "Are we moving to Dallas? Is that why you went there?" And my mom was like, "No. Why would we move to Dallas? We're not going to move to... Well, why do you think we would move to Dallas for?" And I was like, "Well, it's just weird that you went on vacation there without us."
Yeah.
And like, we're kind of suspicious about it. She's like, "No." And the weirdest thing happened after that was... a couple months later, we moved to Dallas.
Whoa!
And I was pretty bummed. And then, like a couple years went by, and my parents went on vacation to Hawaii again without us.
Whoa!
And I was like, "Are we fucking moving to Hawaii?" They're like, "No, this is actually just a real vacation."
You're right. There's a
slight... I was like, "Yeah," and that's what you said last time.
There's a slight difference between Dallas and Hawaii.
Yeah. So that's why I live in Hawaii now.
Man, everybody lies.
Everybody lies all the time. Think about our politicians.
Yeah. Think about our school teachers.
Think about our children.
Think about America.
And think about Britain, where they would lie to you.
Yeah. Sometimes they do. That's how you win the show. You're incentivized to lie.
Yeah. You got to be a good liar. The better liar you are, the more likely you are to win. And I wonder... There's probably some element to the people that are telling the truth to make it seem like they're lying by being weird and evasive with their answers in ways that make it seem less likely to be the truth.
I also think
that good strategy.
that can be achieved through reading the card for the first time. Even if it's the truth, if you're reading it for the first time, you still kind of have that... like you're not retelling something that you know, which might give off the tip
right. You've got to act like this is all fresh to me.
Right.
Yeah. So there is score kept on this show, but it is not kept publicly to the audience because it's a half-hour show, and they film for longer than half an hour.
Okay.
Because they want to get all the funniest bits and interactions in there.
Yeah.
So they might film 8 lies, truths, whatever.
Yeah.
And then only air 5 of them. And so they don't tell you the score until the end, basically.
Yeah.
Where they've decided what is going to be in the edit, or they'll tell you the score and it'll be like, "Oh, it's 5-2," and you're like, "We only saw 4 things." But you just have to not worry about that, basically. Okay. One team wins and that's it, and they don't win anything. There's no prize. I know this is going to bum you out.
Yeah.
But as best I can tell, there is no prize awarded on this show. You're just declared the winner and the loser.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the show. I mean, Lee Mack and David Mitchell, like I said, they're kind of the center squares. They're each of their team captains, so they're always involved. A lot of times, the final round, the quick fire lies will go to the two of them, just because they're the stalwarts of the teams, and they are on every single episode of the show, all 135 of them.
Wow.
And sometimes, especially in the last couple seasons, Rob Brydon, our host, our presenter, if you will sometimes he will read a true or false, and both teams can question him, or sometimes he will get involved in the Inquisition.
Yeah, the back and forth.
Yeah, exactly. He'll ask for clarification on things.
Something doesn't sound right here.
Yeah. So I don't know. I felt like when I'm watching the show, a lot of times I feel like I can tell whether they're lying or truthing.
Are you right?
I think I'm usually right. But like there are times where I'm like, lying? Okay, this person is clearly lying. This person is clearly lying. And then all the other people are like, I think it's the truth. And I'm like, no, that's clearly a lie. You're so stupid. But then there are other times where I'm like, I guess that sounds believable. And then it's a lie. So it can be tricky.
You saying British people are stupid?
Some of them.
Wow.
Some of them are. They're trying to heat up our fucking globe to make tea.
So much tea. Hey, guess what? It's gross brown water. Hey, everybody go ahead and check out Ted Lasso for other hot jokes like that. I was about
to say, that's Ted Lasso's opinion on tea. That's also my opinion on tea. That's also my opinion on coffee, though.
Here's the thing, though. It's mostly true, but if you get a good, like, chai tea, it's got a little bit of creaminess with it, and you pour some milk in there. Here's the thing. In order to get good tea, you have to add non-tea things to it.
Right. So the thing about tea, as I understand it, what tea is,
right,
is
garbage
like
in a bag,
leaves and flowers.
Sure.
And then you make your water taste like those leaves and flowers. Correct. As best that you can, right?
As best you can, yep.
And that's it?
I mean, yeah. Some of it has...
does it have
healing powers?
Calories? Like, does the stuff from the leaves and flowers add calories? Or
maybe.
Or is it would a pure tea without, like, sugar or cream added be 0 calories? Like, I bet you a Lipton iced tea has calories because it's just a bunch of fake stuff made up in a lab in Wuhan.
I put in tea calories and it said 2 calories.
2?
It says tea, 1 serving, 8 fluid ounce cup, apparently 2 calories.
2, okay. That's almost...
1 for the water and 1 for the actual tea.
No, water doesn't have calories.
Right. 1 for the water and 1 for the actual tea.
If you... The way the calorie laws work is if it's under 1 calorie per serving, you can say 0.
Are you fucking serious?
So you can manipulate the serving size to make your thing have 0 calories. So like, and I don't think they do this, but like Coca-Cola or Pepsi or something like that could sell you a 12-ounce can, and if it's 2 calories, they could put like serving size 6 ounces and then market it as 0 calories.
I think something that said 2 calories or 1 calorie stands out a little bit, and not in a bad way.
Like Dr. Pepper 10?
Everything. I can't find it anymore.
Is it gone? Is it out of style?
It was Jonda's favorite soda, and we cannot find it.
Because the regular Dr. Pepper is like 140 or so, I think.
But if I saw something that had 2 calories, I'd be like, oh, that's kind of cool. Everything has 0 calories. Like, I don't believe 0 calories. 0 calories doesn't stand out to me anymore. It's like, there's so many drinks that have 0.
If it has 2 calories, it's probably going to taste a little better than a 0 calories. Like, they did something where they're like, hey, we don't want to compromise too much.
Yeah. Leave in those 2.
Yeah.
1 for the water.
it's just as good. Would I lie to you? That's basically the slogan of every advertising ever is would I lie to you? And the answer is always yes.
We're not lying to you. We just
answer
want to
is-
let you know
But
you're
I
going to be a
would.
fat, ugly slob if you don't use it. That's all we're saying.
Just to be clear, I would lie to you. I'm
Yeah.
not, but I'm not.
I mean, you're in
But I'm not.
advertising again.
Yeah.
So you're
I
a
do
liar.
advertising. I am a professional liar.
Damn,
I would be
dude.
great on this show.
So you're a magician?
Yeah. Yeah. I lie to my college professors. I lie to my mom unsuccessfully.
And yet you still got your tongue.
I lie to my doctor all the time.
Wait, hold on. About what? That's not good.
Just like what I eat and how much I pee. And
What's the lie you tell? Do you tell them too much or too little?
so here's the thing.
yeah.
I pee a lot.
Okay.
Like
On average.
How many times would you say that you pee in a day?
Um.
Because I always wonder about this. I don't know.
Right.
The-
Well,
what-
I mean, it does depend, but on average, basically how much I'm drinking. If I'm doing good drinking,
right.
on average, I would say maybe 5, 6 times.
So do you think like 10 to 15 is too much?
Yes, 10 to 15. That's that's like once an hour.
So I'll put it this way. Like last night,
More than once an hour.
Last night I got in bed after your raucous party.
Unsurprised party.
Right, your unsurprised party. Your what's the opposite of surprise? Knowledgeable party. Your aware party.
Okay, I guess yeah.
I got in bed to go to sleep.
Hell yeah.
And in the time I got in bed before I went to sleep, and I mean, like, I like read the internet in bed a little bit before I go to sleep. So, you know, it was probably like killed 45 minutes or so.
Yeah.
And then, you know, laying down, trying to go to sleep. In that time frame, I got up to pee 4 times before I went to sleep.
How many Cokes did you drink at the party?
2.
You drink anything when you got home?
I drank some water. I drink water before bed every night, so that probably.
Why do you
affects
do that?
Because sometimes I went through a phase where I would like wake up in the middle of the night with a calf cramp. I don't know, because of the way I like stretch in my sleep or something like that.
Okay.
And just the most painful calf cramp. It just hurts so bad, and it's not great when you're trying to sleep to get that. And so I was like, well, I got to make sure that I'm super hydrated before I go to sleep so I don't get any muscle cramps.
So do you wake up to pee during sleeping?
Sometimes.
That would be the worst.
I try
I stopped
not
drinking
to.
water 30 minutes before I lay down.
Yeah, no, I always drink water before bed. But like if I go to the movies, and I go to the movies kind of a lot. Well, I used to. I've only been to one movie in the last year and a half, but it is incredibly rare for me to sit through an entire movie without having to get up to go to the bathroom.
I mean, yeah, I'm kind of the same way. Like, so we saw A Quiet Place 2.
Yeah.
And I had to pee for the last 45 minutes of the movie.
Oh, that's the worst.
And it sucks
And then
because...
you like unbuckle your pants so to try and relieve some of the pressure.
Oh, I thought you were going to say to pee, like, out the side of the seat.
Pee on the seat next to you a little bit.
No, it's the worst. Because then you don't want to miss anything, but then you end up focusing only on all of your energy on not peeing, and you miss what's going on in the movie anyway. So might as well just go relieve yourself.
Yeah, and you're like, this movie's got to be done any minute.
That
now,
happened to
right?
me. So, yeah, because I looked it up and it's only an hour and 37 minutes.
But with the previews, it starts
I
so much later.
I know. I was like, it's got to be done. Oh, it has to be done soon. Oh, for sure. Like, this guy dies. This guy's still alive? Oh, no.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know. I feel like
Spoiler alert, somebody dies in A Quiet Place too.
I feel like I pee kind of a lot.
It sounds like you pee too much.
But the when you like Google that, it's a lot of the things are like prostate problems.
Issues, yeah.
And so...
But you check your prostate all the time.
Right. So if I tell the doctor that I'm peeing a lot, I think he's going to want to stick something up my butt. So I don't tell him.
So you would rather live your life with prostate cancer than go through, I don't know, I'm assuming 10 seconds of uncomfortable feelings?
Yeah.
Correct. Okay, man.
That's what I just spent the last 5 minutes telling you.
Hey, man, you got to live your life.
Yeah.
And if you want to do it as a stupid person, that's totally cool, dude.
The doctor's like, so how often do you urinate? And I go, hey, would I lie to you? He's like, why don't you just answer the question?
It's a very simple question, actually.
So yeah, would I lie to you? It's a fun British panel.
It's a gas
game show. It's a gas. Wow.
Yeah.
Is that what they would say over there?
I think so.
And it's Wilty. WILTY is how it's like abbreviated online most of the time.
Okay.
I don't know if they say it. I don't know if they say it Wilty or if it's just online written as Wilty. But if you see that, we're talking about Would I Lie to You on the BBC One.
Not Dave.
Not Dave, no. I think Dave is no more. I think it's called something else now.
Oh, he passed away. Dave
is a banking app now, by the way. I saw a commercial for it the other day.
Really?
Yeah. I was like, why is everything named Dave? Do you have any ways that you would make Would I Lie to You better?
I would. Drop the stupid accents.
Oh, you think they're doing accents?
Yeah, they're all distinguished actors doing these ridiculous accents. And as you pointed out, the accents would go... I know that they're not real because once you start singing, they go away.
That's a good point.
So
is every British person faking their accent?
Correct. It is a government mandated
The
policy.
Queen, do you think the Queen is involved?
Yes.
Wow. I don't know.
That's it. The rest of the show is great.
Just the accents.
It's the accents. I can't do it.
Can't understand what they're saying. I got to watch with subtitles on.
Mm-hmm.
You watch stuff with subtitles. Haven't we talked about that?
I do now. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't do that.
You can't read.
Don't worry about it.
You can't read. You pee 15 times a day,
and my doctor doesn't know any of this.
And your optometrist like, read this chart, and you go, "Would I lie to you?"
I can read it. That's what. I see it.
That's fine, but I need to know the specific letters to make sure your eyes are working.
No, don't worry. I got it.
Why do you come in here?
There are letters there. We both know it.
You never read it.
We both know what the letters are.
I know what they are. I need to check to make sure you know what they are.
All right. Give me my driver's license.
This guy, right?
Here.
It's the only two of us in here. What are you doing?
I had to do the last time I got my driver's license renewed. Mm-hmm. I had to do it. They made me eye test.
So you had to put your head down.
Yeah, there's the weird
you push your forehead
depression thing. That now I've got everybody else's forehead juices mixed with mine. Because that's what turns the light on to see the letters or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I just said, "Yep, they're all there."
So you would physically push your head and come back up and go, "Yep, they're all there."
I saw them all.
Okay.
I got it.
And she said, "How many are there?" And you go, why would I?
Good handful. There's a good handful of letters there. I think if you have corrective lenses, which you don't, you just have fake ones. Mm-hmm. You have non-corrective lenses.
Non-corrective.
I think if you are a person with compromised sight, you don't have to do that. They say you have glasses, and you go, and then they put a thing on there that says like,
this person should probably be wearing glasses. Yeah.
So if you get pulled over and you don't have your glasses on, you go to jail.
Thought we lived in America.
Not anymore. Now people won't even trust me when I tell them all the letters are there. So what would you, on a scale of 0 to 5, hey, where the fuck are our buzzers? We haven't had buzzers on this show.
They've become one with the move.
Oh no.
We have them somewhere.
Okay.
And one of these weeks I am going to look for them.
Okay. How many buzzers would you give this program?
I'm going to give it a 4.5 buzzers.
Wow. High grades from you. And just because the accents brings it down, that half buzzer?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a 4 buzzers. I think it's a fun show. Again, it's, I would say, loosely game showy from the perspective of there's no prizes, there's no regular folk.
Yeah.
It's all fancy folk. It's all fancy people who just want your attention so they can entertain you and then go do their rapes and heinous crimes on the side, but you won't care because they're entertaining you and they'll be able to cover it up. more easily. Okay, well maybe you think they're doing this on the side and the rapes and heinous crimes as their main thing.
They're doing freelance raping.
Wow. So yeah, the world and these big corporations and governments and media people are filled with horrible people who basically just want to manipulate the public to get everything they want, to cover up all of their misdeeds and convince you that they're supportive of causes that they really don't give a shit about.
Right. And that's the most honest, truthful thing that we've said on this podcast. We would not lie to you in this moment.
Would I? All right, let's wrap this up because I have to pee. This has been Would I Lie to You on Come On Down, the game show podcast.
Where one of us maybe has prostate issues.